Today we are going to see about the topic fundamental duties in the Lakshmikanth book Indian polity. Okay, let us see fundamental duties. Actually, yesterday we have seen uh, up to this. Okay. Okay, let us see. The original constitution did not provide for the fundamental duties of the citizens. These were added during the operation of internal emergency 1975 to 77 by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act on 1976 on the recommendations of the Swearing Committee. The 86th Constitutional Amendment Act of 2002 added one more fundamental duty, the Part 4A of the Constitution, which consists of only one article 51A, specifies the 11 fundamental duties, that is, to respect the Constitution, national flag, and national anthem, to protect the sovereignty, unity, and integrity of the country, then to promote the spirit of common brotherhood amongst all the people, to preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture, and so on. The fundamental duties serve as a reminder to citizens that while enjoying their rights, they have also to be quite conscious of duties they owe to their country, the society, and to their fellow citizens. However, like the directive principles, the duties are also non-justiciable in nature. Next is secular state. A secular state. The Constitution of India stands for a secular state, hence it does not uphold any particular religion as the official religion of the Indian state. The following provisions of the Constitution reveal the secular character of the Indian state. The term secular was added to the preamble of the Indian Constitution by the 42nd Amendment, Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976. The preamble secures to all citizens of India liberty of belief, faith, and worship. The state shall not deny to any person equality before the law or equal protection of their laws. Article 14. The state shall not discriminate against any citizen on the ground of religion. Article 15. Equality of opportunity for all citizens in matters of public employment. Article 16. All persons are equally entitled to freedom of conscience and the right to freely profess, practice, and propagate any religion. Article 25. Every religious denomination or any of its section shall have the right to manage its religious affairs. Article 26. No person shall be compelled to pay any taxes for the promotion of a particular religion. Article 27. No religious instruction shall be provided in any educational institution maintained by the state. Article 28. Any section of the citizens shall have the right to conserve its distinct language, script, or culture. Article 29. All minorities shall have the right to establish and administer educational institutions of their choice. Article 30. The state shall have endeavor to secure for all the citizens of a uniform civil code. Article 44. The Western concept of secularism connotes a complete separation between the religion, the church, and the state, the politics. This negative concept of secularism is inapplicable in the Indian situation where the country is multi-religious. Hence, the Indian Constitution embodies the positive concept of secularism, that is, giving equal respect to all religions or protecting all religions equally. Moreover, the Constitution have also abolished the old system of communal representation, that is, reservation of seats in the legislations on the basis of a religion. However, it provides for the temporary reservation of seats for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes to ensure adequate representation of them. Next, universal adult franchise. The Indian Constitution adopts universal adult franchise as a basis of elections to the Lok Sabha and to the state legislative assemblies. Every citizen who is not less than 18 years of age has a right to vote without any discrimination of caste, race, religion, sex, literacy, wealth, and so on. The voting age was reduced to 18 years from 21 years in 1989 by the 61st Constitutional Amendment Act of 1988. The introduction of universal adult franchise by the constitution makers was a bold experiment and highly remarkable in view of the vast size of the country. It's a huge population, high poverty, social inequality, and overwhelming illiteracy. Universal adult franchise makes democracy broad based, enhances the self respect and prestige of the common people, upholds the principle of equality, enables minorities to protect their interest, and opens up new hopes and vistas for weaker sections. Then, single citizenship. Though the Indian citizenship is federal and envisages a dual policy, central and states, it provides for only a single citizenship, that is the Indian citizenship. In countries like USA, on the other hand, each person is not only a citizen of USA but also a citizen of the particular state to which he belongs. Thus, he owes allegiance to both, enjoys dual sets of rights, one conferred by the national government and another by the state government. In India, all citizens, irrespective of the state in which they are born or reside, enjoy the same political and civil rights of citizenship all over the country, and no discrimination is made between them, excepting in few cases like tribal areas in Jammu and Kashmir and so on. Despite the constitutional provisions for a single citizenship and uniform rights for all the people, India has been witnessing the communal riots, uh, class conflicts, caste wars, linguistic clashes, and ethnic disputes. This means that the cherished goal of the constitution makers to build an united and integrated Indian nation has not been fully realized. Independent bodies. The Indian constitution not only provides for the legislative, executive, and judicial organs of the government, central and the state, but also establishes certain independent bodies. They are envisaged by the constitution as the bulwarks of the democratic system of government in India. These are election commission to ensure free and fair elections to the parliament, the state legislature, the office of President of India and the office of Vice President of India, Comptroller and Auditor General of India to audit the accounts of the central and state governments. He acts as the guardian of the public purse and comments on the legality and propriety of government expenditure. Union Public Services Commission (UPSC) to conduct examination for recruitment to all India services and higher central services, and to advise the president on disciplinary matters. State Public Service Commission in every state to conduct examinations for recruitment to state services and to advise the governor on disciplinary matters. The constitution ensures the independence of these bodies through various provisions like security of tenure, fixed service conditions, expenses being charged on the consolidated front of India, and so on. Then emergency provisions. The Indian Constitution contains elaborate emergency provisions to enable the president to meet any extraordinary situation effectively. The rationality behind the incorporation of these provisions is to safeguard the sovereignty, unity, integrity, and security of the country, the democratic political system, and the constitution. The constitution envisages three types of emergencies, namely national emergency, state emergency, and financial emergency. National emergency, Article 352, state emergency 356 or 365, then financial emergency 360. National emergency on the ground of war or excellence, external aggregation or armed rebellion. State emergency, president's rule on the ground of failure of constitutional machinery in the state, Article 356, or failure to comply with the directions of the center, Article 365. Financial emergency on the ground of threat to the financial stability or credit of India, Article 360. During an emergency, the central government becomes all powerful and the states go into the total control of the center. It covers the federal structure into a unitary one without a formal amendment of the constitution. This kind of transformation of the political system from federal during normal times to unitary during emergency is a unique feature of the Indian constitution. Three-tier government. Originally, the Indian constitution, like any other federal constitution, provided for a dual policy and contained provisions with regard to the organization and powers of the center and the states. Later, the 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Acts 1992 have added a third tier of the government, that is local, which is not found in any constitution of the world. The 73rd Amendment Act of 1992 gave constitutional recognition to the panchayats, rural local governments, by adding a new Part 9 and a new Schedule 11 to the Constitution. Similarly, the 74th Amendment Act of 1992 gave constitutional recognition to the municipalities, urban local governments, by adding a new Part 9A and a new Schedule 12 of the Constitution. The Constitution of India at a glance. Okay, bye-bye. Part 1, Union and its territory, Article 1 to 4, Citizenship, Article 5 to 11, Fundamental Rights, Article 12 to 35, Directive Principles of State Policy, Article 36 to 51, Part 4A, Fundamental Duties, Article 51A, Part 5, the Union Government, 52 to 151, Chapter 1, the Executive, Article 52 to 78, Parliament, 79 to 122, Legislative powers of President, Article 123. The Union Judiciary, Article 124 to 147. Comptroller and Auditor General of India, Article 148 to 151. Then Article Part 6, State Government, Article 152 to 237. Chapter 1, General 152, the Executive, Chapter 2, 153 to 167, Chapter 3, the State Legislature 168 to 212. Then Chapter 4, Legislative Powers of Governor, Article 213, Chapter 5, the High Courts, Article 214 to 232, Chapter 6, Subordinate Courts, Article 233 to 237, Part 7. The states in Part B of the first schedule. It is deleted, Part 7. Article 238, it is deleted. Then Part 8, the Union Territories. Article 239 to 242. The Article 9, the Panchayats. Article 243 to 243O. Part 9A, the municipalities, Article 243P to 243ZG. Part 9B, the cooperative societies, Article 243ZH to 243ZT. Article Part 10, the scheduled and tribal areas, Article 244 to 244A. Part 11, the relations between the Union and the states, Article 245 to 263. Then Chapter 1, legislative relations, 245 to 255. Chapter 2, administrative relations, 256 to 263. Part 12, finance, property, contracts and suits, Article 264 to 300A. Chapter 1, Finance, Article 264 to 291. Chapter 2, Borrowing, Article 292 to 293. Chapter 3, Property, Contracts, Rights, Liabilities, Obligations and Suits, Article 294 to 300. Chapter 4, Right to Property, Article 300A. Then Part 13, Trade, Commerce, Intercourse within the Territory of India, Article 301 to 307. Then Part 14, Services under the Union and the States, Article 308 to 323. Chapter 1, Services, 308 to 314. Chapter 2, Public Service Commissions, 315 to 323. Article Part 14A, Tribunals, Tirpayangal, Article 323A to 323B, two articles only. Part 15, Elections, Article 324 to 329A. Part 16, Special Provisions relating to certain classes, Article 330 to 342. Then Part 17, Official Language, Article 343 to 351. Chapter 1, Language of the Union, 343 to 344. Chapter 2, Regional Languages, 345 to 347. Chapter 3, Language of the Supreme Court, High Courts and so on, 348 to 349. Chapter 4, Special Directives, Article 350 to 351. Then Part 18, Emergency Provisions, Article 352 through 360. Part 19, Miscellaneous, Article 361 to 367. Part 20, Amendment of the Constitution, Article 368. Part 21, Temporary Transitional to Special Provisions, Article 369 to 392. Part 22, Short Title, Commencement and Authoritative Text in Hindi and Repeals, Article 393 to 395. Okay, Part 7, dealing with Part B states, was deleted by the 7th Amendment Act 1956. On the other hand, both Part 4A and Part 14A were added by the 42nd Amendment Act 1976, while Part 9A was added by the 74th Amendment Act 1992, and Part 9B was added by the 97th Amendment Act of 2011. That's all about the parts of the Constitution. Next, we will see schedules and the sources of the Constitution at a glance at a next class. Okay, bye bye.